Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. My goodness, I am so hyped for this one. This is such a big one. I could never imagine that I would be doing this preview at this time of the season. It would be Inter versus Milan. The Euro derby is here. The build-up has been going on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And of course, we had to do this preview with a person that I've been talking to this year, big Milanista, unfortunately. But apart from that, he's a great guy, old heart Sonero, Fabrizio, also as I know him. Welcome to the channel, brother. Welcome. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you, Uncle Sharma. Thank you to having me. Fantastic. Awesome. Very, very, very excited. And I want to say hi to all your chat of Interistas and some Milanistas. And it's awesome. Super ready, man. Super ready. How's
Yeah,
uh how's the how's it going? How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. Actually, I'm doing better than I thought I would be. As I said to you in the chat we were having just before we came live, I thought I was gonna be already crumbling with the pressure, with the with the nervous energy. Actually, I'm doing okay for now. I think tomorrow at this time tomorrow, then we'll be suffering. But you, how are you doing? Oh, by the way, guys, he's from. Actually, give us a little backstory of who you are, actually, Fabrizio.
Best backstory of Old Heart Rossonero. It's he's from Milan, Italy, specifically 10 traffic lights from Milan. From San Siro, and my, of course, everyone in my family is Rossonero, luckily. And and what's happened is nothing. I just left Italy 10 years ago, traveling a little bit in Australia, in England, in Manchester. I lived in Ireland. Eventually, I found my place here in Barcelona because I'm a fan as well. I'm a part of the Milan club here in Barcelona. And when was the last year I start the channel, and I started with great enthusiasm, especially because Milan helped because we won the Scudetto last year. So it was a crazy boom, and I connected directly with the legendary Uncle Sharma, the legend, and boom, there you go, man. It's going well, and here is I have to tell you, man. And this is also my question for you. When you started this channel, have you ever thought that you're gonna, especially in 2023, have you ever thought that you're gonna do a preview I mean, it's even hard to say because I can say semi-final of a Coppa Italia, who cares? No, a semi-final of Champions League, and you're not gonna play Benfica this time. You're not gonna play, you're gonna play Milan. Like, boom, like it's gonna be. How's it going? Have you ever thought about this? Like,
No, no, honestly, yeah. I thought, I mean, with Inter, like I've always say, like with Champions League, you never know. You can always get, it depends on the draw, who you get, and you can get
mm,
um to these stages. But yeah, I never imagined it was gonna be a Milan derby. I mean, I used to joke about it a few months ago that when we beat you 1-0 in that video, I said, "Oh, this is the last time we play Milan this year, unless something crazy happens," and something crazy did happen.
I
So
got
here we are.
goosebumps, man, goosebumps. I remember I went inside in one of your life, and I typed like there was we saw the when you I think we won against Tottenham, and then you guys won against Porto. And I typed something like, "It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I hope it's not gonna." And it did happen, and boom,
Yeah.
here we are, semi-final.
Yeah, and here we are, guys,
Oof,
to
oof, oof.
preview this massive, massive game. I saw this graphic on Twitter earlier, so I had to steal it. Milano Endgame is like the Avengers of Milano getting together. Tonali versus Barella, Lautaro, Leao, Magnan, Onana. Like it's a
Yeah.
big, big deal. It's a big, big deal. You
I don't
you are
see
from
Leao. I don't see
yeah.
Leao. Did you see Leao there?
Don't worry. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. As a as
Amazing.
a person from Milano, tell the people that I have a very international community here. I'm sure you do as well. Tell the
Uh-huh.
people like what is Milan like when there's a build up like this to a Milan derby. Did you experience it the 2003 and the 2005
All of
ones?
them. All of them. 2003 and then 2005. It was. How to say, it's very strange, because let me tell you this: Milan is not like Roma or Napoli, where it's very. I mean, it's the same passion, but it's expressed in a different way. It's more. It's I would say it's a little bit more reserved. Okay, it's
Yeah.
a little bit more reserved. However, people has inside have the same identical passion, and it's crazy because, as I told you before, I was this weekend I was in London to do a stag party, and it were 8 people. And fun enough, it was three Interista, four Milanista, and one guy supporting Palermo. But it's okay, it's awesome. And we try to don't talk because we were here for the guy that was celebrating his wedding, and we
Mhm.
try to don't talk. We try to don't talk. We try to don't talk. But man, every single time there was a moment of silence. Anyway, I don't think Onana is better than Maignan, and everyone, ba 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 ba. What the fuck are you talking about? This and that. It was so fun. But yeah, living in Milan, everyone is talking since 2 weeks. They're playing little tricks, playing
Mhm.
little jokes, and it's. It's awesome. It's really awesome, but we don't talk about it too much, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Well, today we're gonna talk about it. Today we can let it roll out,
oh
and
yeah.
yeah, I mean
Oh yeah.
the kit behind you, bro, as well. Like a reminder of where we've come from. You That kit is like peak banter era kit, right?
This
That's
kid
like
here,
Keisuke Honda. That's like Carlos
that is
Bacca.
the that is a Bertolacci, Poli, that kind of people there. Nigel de Jong. I mean, that is the time. That was the time that there was a moment, especially that I think even for you that we thought, are we gonna become like Ajax? Like we're gonna have like our Champions League victories, and we will
Mhm.
never come back at that level. And boom, here we go,
Mm.
man. Here we go.
That's
What,
why.
what,
That's
what?
why
eh,
this derby feels, yeah, even more surreal after you think, well, where the darkness that we came from. We're
yeah,
rising up to the light. We've reached the light.
we reach it. We finally. Well, do you think that Milan? I mean, the Milan as a city. I mean, do we earn the respect a little bit? Do you think we
Yeah, of
earn the
course. I
respect
think
of the football community a little bit back
yeah,
home?
it's a reminder to people that people think, oh yeah, Inter, Milan, they used to be good teams. Like, yeah, who cares now? So this is like a little reminder to people, like, no, no, this is still the pinnacle. This is the football heritage, as we like to say. This is where you find the football heritage. So yeah, I think it's good for Italian football as well. Like, I hope this will be a good advertisement for Italian football as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though, yeah, 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 I think too is, I mean, Milan, just a friendly reminder, is the city, is the only city in Europe with what's his name, with two European winner in the same
Mm,
city. Okay,
yeah.
so there is only Milan, Manchester, none, Madrid, none, London, none. It's Milan only, so it means a lot. It means really, really, really a lot. So it's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay, bro, let's get straight into it. I'm not gonna waste any more time chit chatting. The one question on my mind, I want to clear this up. Is this guy playing? Yes or no? Are you guys? Is this just a pre-game thing? Like, oh, he's injured, he's not gonna make it. I mean, the word elongazione, which means like the muscle that elongated, so he stretched his groin muscle. That apparently went into the Google in Italy trend, so it was trending that word because people were searching it up, worried for Leao or I don't know. Uh, so tell us, is Leao playing? Yes or no?
Well, let me give him a couple of. Let me give him a quick call. Let me see if he's gonna pick up. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's.
call
I
Rafa.
think it's. I don't know, man. I honestly think it's gonna be. So today, Pioli, what he said that they asked him, is he gonna be playing? And they said tomorrow morning, so the morning of the match, they're gonna do the last check.
Hmm.
Okay, if he's 100%, he's gonna be playing and he's gonna be starter. If he's not 100%, he's not gonna be even on the bench. Okay, that's it. So
So
I
for
don't
people
know
that
if.
don't know, I just want to give quick. If people didn't watch, I was watching the Milan Lazio game. It was like 10, 15 minutes in, I think it was, like
Mhm.
quite early in the game, and Leao
Eight,
pulled.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even earlier than that, and they kind of took him off as a precaution by the looks of it. It didn't look too serious, but that was only like 3 days ago.
Yeah, man. The things that makes everyone a little bit upset in the Milan mind is that he didn't get a single injury in 4 years in Milan.
Hmm.
Not one. Where
Yeah.
he got the only one in the most important match of the season, the semifinal. And now, if it's a mind game, Pioli is the biggest troller of the world. Good
Purely
luck.
voodoo. Is this the purely voodoo?
Yes, maybe. I don't know. But I don't think he's gonna risk it this much. I mean, how, do you think Inter it's I mean, how do you guys leave this if Leao is playing or not playing? Tell me.
Well, to me, we go instantly. We become favorites. Like there's no, we can't deny it. Like if Leao is missing, Inter are favorites in this match because that's your biggest weapon going forward. That's your
Sì,
main guy creating
sì.
chances. And I like to make fun of your style of play sometimes. We call it like Leao, inshallah. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes it does feel like it's kind of just like give it to Leao, he will do something. So I think it's a big factor for
I
sure.
love that. In Leao. Okay. And then do you think the tactics of Inter is gonna change?
I don't think the tactics of Inter will change. I think that's the
Mm,
thing I've realized with Inzaghi is like he doesn't really, he's not a guy to kind of tweak his tactics depending on the team. I mean, we did it when we went to Portugal, like when we went away to Porto, away to Benfica, you could see that we set up a bit more defensively and things like
mm.
that. But I think against Milan, we've played you so many times now. We've seen that we always pretty much, but I think the match will be like, tactical and a little bit closed maybe. But
Mm.
I apologize if my internet also is lagging a little bit. I can see my,
Yeah, that jump a little bit. The last sentence that you said jumped a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. No, I don't think we will change depending if Liao is there or not. I don't think our tactics will change, to be honest. What do you
Mm.
what yeah, you give us the Milan side. Like if Liao is not there, what
Yeah,
changes?
you
Because
got.
I saw you guys doing really well against Lazio even without Liao, to be honest.
Yeah. They played Salemakers. That means he trusts much more Salemakers than Divo Origi, the Liverpool legend, than Ante Rebic as well. He rather playing with Salemakers. The thing is, and I'm telling you this right now, if Leao is not playing, has to be the match of Theo Hernandez.
Hmm.
Simple as that. The thing is, lately when we were playing, for example, now on top of my head, Napoli and Tottenham in Champions League, you got Leao and Theo. What he had to do, he had to be a defender a little bit more rather than what he does, what Theo does. And guess what? Exactly when Leao came out after 15 minutes, Theo on against Lazio scored that incredible goal because he got more space.
Yeah.
Um, but Lazio, Inter is not Lazio, especially
Yeah.
because you got Barella and Mkhitaryan. Especially, I think Mkhitaryan it's quite fast as well. On that side, he got his love Dumfries, his love Dumfries.
Hmm.
So there you go. That is gonna be
Best
awesome.
butt.
You know that.
The thing is,
Uh,
the thing is,
go.
like he has, like, yeah, he is gonna be. It looks like the predicted lineups is gonna be Hernandez versus Dumfries. But he, like,
Mm,
mentally, I don't think Hernandez plays that well against Inter. Like I don't think I've ever, like, how he did against Lazio, how he did against
hmm
Napoli. I don't think he's ever played that well in the derbies. But against Dumfries, he seems to have like he gets him triggered like very early on. Like he'll do something like push, just like a little something, and Dumfries will lose his head for the rest of the game. Whereas Theo, just like, he loves it. He just like lives for it.
I'm curious to see. Look, I'm curious to see. Even before the match start, I'm curious to see how Hakan Calhanoglu is gonna receive. Not really from the stadium, that we can all imagine what he's gonna say, or the stadium what he's gonna sing. All good things, of course. I'm very ironic right now, guys. Okay, I don't know if you guys know me, but I'm very ironic. So when I'm saying that Hakan is gonna be received in the best way ever, I'm very ironic.
Times 100.
Okay. Number one. Number two. There you go. That's the kind of meme I like to see. There you go. In his own city, Istanbul, raising the cup,
Imagine,
number 4.
bro. What would you do? How many nights of sleep will you lose if you see this happening?
He's incredible. He's incredible bad. Do we want to talk a little bit about Akan for your Inter fan? We want to talk about
Yeah,
Akan Calhanoglu. I mean, let's talk about this.
let
So
it
Akan
all
Calhanoglu,
out. I'm your
I'm
therapist.
gonna let it all out. Akan Calhanoglu went to Inter for what was it? 500,000 euro more?
Yeah,
1
around,
million
yeah,
more?
500K.
Something
Yeah,
like this.
500K
Something
more.
like
What?
this.
Net
I
money,
mean,
yeah, 500K.
I understand that he's from a different country, so he doesn't care. Maybe he got the wife there, maybe he got the kids, so he didn't want to have move somewhere else. So he want to keep all the family together. He was like, you know what? I got another call from the other side of the Naviglio, and I want
Mm.
to stay here. And how much is it? 500,000. But God, man, like a little bit of belief in a little bit of, I don't know. I found it that now he's playing like the pride guy to be Inter. Look, and I'm sure he's gonna kiss the Inter thing. Oh, this is all the things that I'm sure it's gonna happen. If he's gonna score, he's gonna do this. Imagine that. I will be like pulling all my hair. I'm like, this guy had to. Somebody's gonna go to Milan to take him, like waiting for him under his out, man.
Mm.
And because now if he does something like this, I'm like, so you left us on the other side of the Naviglio for have a little bit more of money,
Hmm.
and now you play the loyal guy with them. It's like an ex-girlfriend, isn't it? Man,
Yeah.
this guy.
I can see from your side. Obviously, it would be the same if I saw Inter guy going to Milan. So I can definitely see the hatred that he receives from your boys. But at the same time, that's a reason why, like, I never liked Hakan. Like, I've said this. I've never liked him as a player that much.
Mm.
Like, I always know that he's got great right foot. Like, technically he's been blessed by the man above, but I don't know, there was something I never really liked. But then this factor that Milan fans hate him, so you have to like him for that reason. But then this
Yeah.
season he's just
Mm.
like, when Brozovic was injured, this guy just stepped into that
Mm.
CDM regista role, and I was like,
Mm.
wow, like
So it's
this
worth
is
it. It's worth it.
yeah, 100% worth it. And we all want him to renew his contract, because his
Mm.
contract finishes next year, and they're talking about renewal. And yeah, I hope his contract gets renewed, bro. Like, I'm 100%, Team Hakan now.
Yeah, that's a perfect player for you guys.
Yeah. What's that
You can
supposed to
keep it. You can keep it, man. You can really keep it, that guy. I don't have anything else to say on Akan. The other, so I want to see, beside the San Siro things, that he's gonna be cover him with a warm welcome that he deserved. The other things that he's gonna, I want to see, because if you remember, on one of the last derby, there was a moment where everyone was shaking hands,
Mhm.
and then he went in front of Theo Hernandez, and Theo Hernandez did his shaking his hands,
I think,
and
no, I think he didn't shake Theo's hand, because remember, Theo was the one that started those chants
Theo.
at the when you guys won.
Okay, so Akan didn't shake the hands of Theo Hernandez, and when he passed
Yeah.
by, he gave him that tick. So I'm curious to see if something like this is gonna happen, because they will have to shake. Well, they will have to pass in front of each other, right?
Yeah, they were fine at the Supercoppa. I don't remember any problems with the Supercoppa.
Yeah.
and the last derby in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see that, and of course, I'm curious to see Theo Dumfries,
Yeah,
because that's gonna be awesome. That is gonna be really good, and that's what's really brings. And we already talk about this, Uncle Sharma. We already talk about this. That it's not really a fight, but the tension in between these two players. That's what bring really
yeah.
football back.
Yeah, because the last, the first derby, the one that we lost 3-2, which by the
Yeah.
way, embarrassing performance by Inter. I'm still pissed off about that game. But yeah,
Mm,
like I think it was literally like 4 or 5 minutes into the game, and that thing just like switched everything on. Like it was first, the first few minutes, the both teams are like, passing around, maybe
mm,
trying. But then that moment, as soon as like Theo and Dumfries did that thing, it was like the game
boom.
changed. It like
Yeah,
boom.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
you
very
need that.
true.
You
I,
need that.
I'm 100%, as long as it's this, in the most sportive way. Definitely, I don't want to see something like happened a few days ago in Argentina and Buenos Aires. I don't know if you see what's happened.
Yeah.
Minutes 93 something was River Plate versus Boca Junior. Minutes 93 penalty for River Plate. He scored the penalty, went in front of the bench, show his do something very, very aggressive. Let's say like this. Very aggressive towards the Boca bench, and 22 player jump against him. It was
And 6 red cards, right?
red card. There was like 4 or 5 red cards. I don't know how many yellow cards.
Yeah.
So that's extreme. I don't want to see that. I would
I
like
mean,
more to
that could
see.
happen if Hakan comes on, like scores like a penalty in the last minute and then goes to the curva and does this. Then I think
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that could
yeah,
happen.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure, for
Not
sure.
even
Because
exaggerating. Like that could
no,
actually.
no, 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 no. Because if you remember well, in 2005, the reason of the fireworks, it was, well, it was, what was it, 1-0, maybe, I don't remember exactly what it was. It was 1-0 Milan, and then the Inter fans started throwing this flare on Dida,
Mhm.
and that's where
Yeah.
everyone start to be like, do you have any memory specifically about that? What's your memory? Do you remember anything about
Bro, I'm
those
just
days?
pissed off about those games because the first one, the 2003, you guys went through because of away goals. It's like, how the hell can you have away goals in the same fucking stadium? I'm still like in the night. Like I'm a pretty calm guy, but that
Yeah.
triggered me. Like it's like triggers a reaction in me. Like, and we
Uh,
were had like we. The thing is, you guys were a better team back then. Like we both of those
mm,
games were like Vieri was injured for us. Like Crespo was like half injured. Your
mm,
midfield was like stacked. You guys like your defense was stacked. You guys were better, but yeah,
mm.
those it just remember just bad memories for me. It triggers, and obviously good memories for you.
Yeah, it was what was it? That was 2000, 2005, I think was 2005. Was 2-0 for Milan in San Siro, and then and then 0-1 for Milan, and then Flares
Yeah.
3-0 in, I don't know how you say that in English when they assign you 3-0 without playing. A
Uh,
tavolino. I don't even know how to
Actually,
say that.
I'm blanking Tavolino.
It's
Wait, let's
like when
type
they give you the 3-0 because something terrible happened, and they give you the 3-0 because something like the flames happen. I don't know, when they give you the victory and they give you like 3-0
forfeit. Yeah, forfeiting. Yeah,
forfeiting.
yeah.
Okay, all
That's
right.
thank you. Rangers King. Is that one of your people from your
Of
channel?
course,
Yeah,
that guy knows everything about. He knows a lot about Milan. Clearly, it's
yeah. You
like
want to give a quick shout out to your people in the chat here?
well, let me see who I can see. Let me see.
Yeah,
Mr. Ranger, I remember Mr. Ranger. I saw Kakska. There you go. Mattia, your moderator brother is a good fan. Let me do a shout out for him because every time he even comes in my channel, say, "Oh, it's gonna be awesome to see Milan and Inter." He's
mhm,
doing a fantastic job, guys. So he is super super cool. So be
yeah.
sure to say
Shout out to
hi.
Mattia.
Ah, and look at that. I got Gabriele Versace. Gabriele Versace. Now, Gabriele, dirò la tua storia. I'm gonna tell your story. Gabriele Versace is an Inter fan, that he start to fall. I don't know if he's following, but he watching my videos. And one day he sent me a message say in Italian saying, "Man, thank you so much. It's awesome to see some Italians that actually speak in English because at least I can keep up with English. I'm learning." And I was like, and by the way, I'm an Inter fan. I was like, man, this is so mentally complicated to understand. An Inter fan
Hmm.
thanks me for the Milan channel.
Yeah,
Really, really, thank you. And so far, nothing. Yeah, that's all I see. That's all I see at the moment.
Mr. Wolf,
Anyway, Mr. Wolf, yes, of course. Let me see. Caspita.
Wizu.
Rizu, that's mine.
Mhm.
How you doing? Amazing. Charles, old Arrossonero seems like a cool guy to be fair. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. Thank
There
you.
you go.
You seems like a cool guy with your comments, let me tell you that.
But yeah,
Amazing.
let's continue after this quick
Yeah,
shout out to your community. Next
thank you,
matchup I
by the
want
way.
to talk about is these two boys, Andre Onana and Magic Mike Magnon. I think we can I think we can safely say I think this season probably I mean with Mike the problem was that he's got injured for so long, but I would say
Mhm.
probably the two best goalkeepers in the league in Serie A.
Without any doubts, who can be a contender to these two? Chesney for Juve, no.
No, Szczesny had a
Uh,
no Vicario maybe in terms of performance,
Vicario,
just like straight performance.
Vicario,
Provedel, but
Meret for Napoli. Mm.
oh yeah, Meret has had a good season. But if you ask me who do I want, like who do I think the two best goalkeepers are in Serie A, I would say these two. Not
These two, yeah.
yeah, and in
Yeah, no,
Champions
I
League, Onana
agree.
has been even better.
I think
Yeah,
as a Milan fan, you can imagine, after what's happened with Donnarumma, especially
mm,
after winning the Euro Cup, we were like, who is this French guy? Like, nobody's gonna be better than the guy that actually allowed us to win the Euro Cup, doing an incredible European Cup. So with Italy in 2020. For yeah, so I was like, nobody, we bought him for something like 16 million.
yeah. Oh
16
my god.
million, man.
I honestly, I think he's yeah, I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world. I think it's him, Courtois, and you can maybe yeah, him, Courtois, Allison, top three for sure. But to me,
Mm-hmm.
like what
How old
Magnon,
is Onana?
26, 27.
Mm.
So similar. So the Magnon's also the similar age, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But Magnan, it's good. I didn't see him doing fu- at the moment anything like any big mistake to say, wow, like Nelson did. I used to do it. Something incredible, but also some terrible stuff. Onana is doing well, but I think he got a problem a little bit with the temper, isn't it? Onana.
Yeah, he's not like Magnon is like cool. He's a cool
Mm.
character, whereas my Onana, yeah, he's a bit fiery, which I like. I like, but sometimes it goes, a little bit extra. But it's
Mm.
better. I think I prefer it to Handanovic, who was always just, like as much as I
Passive, very
respect him and
passive.
love him for what he did with
Mm.
us, he's just, you know, too calm, too cool. Um, yeah. So it's good. It's a big contrast. It's like you can't get two more different keepers, like personality wise, than we have in Handanovic and Onana. Whereas you guys, the drop off that you have from Manyan to like Tatarusanu is like must be the biggest drop off in Europe.
Uh, that was terrible. I have a stats like 19 games played, no, 19 shots, 14 goal concedes. It's like I understand there was also bad time and there was a lot of issue, a lot of problem. People, you remember in January in Milan, how was it that everyone was talking about? Oh, there is a problem in the
Yeah.
behind the scene. There is a problem here, but when you have a goalkeeper, it's I have to say that the job of a goalkeeper need to give security to the rest of your team, and no wonder, for example, big name Buffon, okay, Manuel Neuer, all goalkeeper that they were like a massive personality because in the back there they see how the match really runs.
Yeah.
If there is a corner kick, you have to scream, you have to yell, you have to make sure that even their striker, they're gonna be, I'm not saying scared, but they need to be aware that you are there, and if there is a little bit of hesitation, you're gonna jump. There's not gonna be anything else. So goalkeeper, it has to be this kind of job, and I think Mike is doing a fantastic job, especially because he's playing a lot with our defend.
Oh yeah.
Like he's very good with ball possession as well. It's a little very modern. But talking about Onana, I saw Onana doing a couple of interesting mistakes. Let's say interesting to say big. One just in top of my mind is the one against Salernitana, Candreva.
Oh, but yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the big deflection though as well. That was a big
Mm,
deflection. Di Marco with his very lazy cross blocking, he does that
mm,
sometimes. But yeah, maybe you could say that was a mistake. There was one, yeah, he did against Empoli, Baldanzi, like it
mm.
went under him. But the thing with Onana, you have to remember, this guy was out of football for like over a year. Like
Yep.
I think I said I would give him this season. I actually think he's done better than I expected. I thought there would be more mistakes. I thought he would make
Mm,
a couple of more mistakes just because of rustiness. But actually, I thought because his World Cup, you remember his World Cup,
yeah.
he ended early. Then African Cup of Nation, when we were watching him, all Inter fans, we were watching him like, this is going to be our future keeper. He was looking very shaky
Uh,
then. But I think
he's
he's
also
been really
he
good,
also
especially.
had to leave the national team, right? He was kicked out.
Yeah, I mean that was his own decision. He just like said, "I'm leaving."
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, that's
Wow.
that's where the fiery character, as you're saying, that's where it comes in, and not accepting the decision of the manager, which
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
was fair because apparently the manager's like he didn't like how he was going out too much with the ball, whereas like that's like normal now. I think, and then it's not like Cameroon had a great performance afterwards. So yeah, I think he was
This,
also
this, 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 this.
correct.
Amazing.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next topic. This, I mean, I bantered you with the Hakan one, but also now I'm gonna banter myself with this one. This guy, I'm sick
Fair
of this
enough.
guy. I'm so sick of this guy, and I'm sick of this fly in my room as well. Go away. Um,
Okay, guys, let me
he's
tell you that you are following a super good Inter fan because he's also very how to say that in autocritic, like self-crit.
self-critical. Yeah,
Yes, which is not very often to see in Inter fan. Okay, so if you're following, put a massive like to the live and make sure to subscribe to him because he's actually look. I know a lot of Interista. They are the last person that I want to talk about. But with Uncle Sharma that does this kind of things with Si è girato Giroud, of
tell
course.
the people what it's about because I don't want to talk about it.
Mm.
What does it mean in the English?
In English, Si è girato, it's how you say that? He turned, right?
Yeah, he
He
turned.
he
Stefan the
turned.
Fridge, as we like to call him now, Stefan the Fridge. He moved like a fridge that time when Giroud turned him,
Yeah.
like 36-year-old Giroud turning Stefan de Vrij. So this
Mm.
this saying became famous in Italy. It's like "Sia girato Giroud,"
Si
and
è
he did it.
girato
He did it again
Giroud.
this
Si è
season against
girato
us.
Giroud. Exactly, and in the moment that he scored, the Curva Sud was singing "Si è girato Giroud, si è girato Giroud." So it was he's my expectation on Giroud was pretty much zero. I think everyone, even you, everyone, like when he arrived, he's like it's finished. A little bit like Origi.
Mm,
Okay, it was actually I think I had a higher expectation on Origi than Giroud. And Giroud last year basically he put the ball in the net every single time it was due. So every
yeah,
time there was a moment, he put the ball in the net. Um, so I can tell you that in the derby against Lazio, against Assuolo on the last match, against Napoli,
he was
he's
clutch.
yeah. And also he's super professional, and it feels like he did really well as well in the World Cup. 37 years, I think he got now 36. I think we give him another year of contract. for another year for Milan. And but what can we say, man? It's really our only striker because Ibra, as you know, it's I think his career at least in Milan it's over. So
He's an
uh,
influencer now, bro. He's an influencer, motivational speaker.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we will see, we will see, we
But
will
he's
see.
not been in good form, Giroud. So hopefully, I think it would likely be a Cherby that will be on him. No De Vrij. I don't want to see De Vrij after his last few performances. I think now mentally as well, like you know how we talked about Dumfries and Theo mentally. I think De Vrij suffers him like mentally as well now. Like he's got it
Really?
in. Yeah, because it just seems like a thing. Like it's become, he got turned. Then he also, like, you remember in the 3-2 derby this season, he like I don't know if it's that De Vrij's fault, but like it just
Mm,
seems like he has De Vrij's number
yeah.
mentally. Whereas I think with Acerbi I think can do a better job.
Well, what do you think of this guy, man? Acerbi, it's doing. I think Zaghi constantly play him. It's doing well, no?
Bro, he
Well,
plays more than Bastoni. I don't know. Bastoni, we make fun of him, Inter fans. We call him like, he sometimes, oh, he's got a fever. Oh, he has a little knock. Like with Acerbi, this guy, 35 years old, every game, pam,
boom.
pam, pam, pam. Like he's always there. Like he's been one of the best signings this year for sure. Like one of our most
Wow.
consistent. If you ask me for our most consistent centre back, I would say it's Acerbi. He made the one mistake was against Lazio just the other week. He made the mistake. He
Mm.
slipped. But apart from that, this guy's almost been like flawless. And yeah, another ex Milan player.
Yeah. It's crazy because when he Inter bought Acerbi, I was like, why? They could buy like some younger players, somebody that could have a future. Instead, they bought a specific player like 30. Well, how old is it? 34, 35,
34, yeah, might be
34.
35 now.
Yeah, and but he's doing his job incredible, and I think Inzaghi believe in Acerbi in very like they talk to each other, and I feel they are on the same level. So that's good for a coach as a
Yeah.
Simone Inzaghi to have somebody to trust like this. Um, so who's okay? I wanted to ask you for the lineup for tomorrow. What? But probably talk later about this. No.
Yeah, I wanted now that I did a self-critical one. Now it's time for you to suffer again.
No. So okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So El Toro Martinez, the
Oh man.
killer, the AC Milan killer. According to Besis, apparently he needs one more goal to have the most goals against Milan in his career. I don't know how he means is in terms of an Inter player scoring as Milan. Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, this guy Tomori. I think he also said recently that Lautaro is the guy that he finds one of the most difficult to deal with. Um, yeah. So how much do you fear this man with a bad haircut?
Do you think it's a bad haircut or is it a good haircut?
It's awful, bro. It's awful haircut, man. It's so bad. And he never changes it. Like it never changes. He's been here for like 4 years and I've never seen him change even like slightly, like
Yeah.
awful.
But the hair is a little bit like I'm saying just that the hair itself of Lautaro, even during the match, they're always like almost perfect, right? They're always
Yeah,
like
because he
this.
puts like 15 kilograms of gel probably. That's
Uh,
why.
it's a little bit like Zanetti. Remember back
Oh,
in the
Zanetti is
days,
natural.
Javier
That's like
Zanetti?
that's natural. That's just
Boom.
perfect. Boom. Wakes up, boom, is there.
Incredible, incredible. Like running minutes 90, doing cross and but always perfect. Scoring, always perfect. No, Lautaro Martinez, I'm super scared. Of course, Lautaro Martinez is a player that I was watching one of your live, I think was against, what was it, Inter Lazio probably. Yeah, Inter Lazio. That you were talking with your friends if it was a number 9 or a number 11.
Hmm.
I don't know. Lautaro, he got his own position. Like he, when I really like him, for example, like him and scared of him when, especially when he helped a lot the team to come up. So he protect the ball when he put himself against the defender and protect the ball with his body.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to be careful because usually what's happened, Lautaro does that job, and then you have one of the midfielder coming up, Prum. And there is a problem if you have Kier. Let's say if Tomori, which is the fastest, take Lautaro, and then you leave maybe Mkhitaryan or maybe Barella or another fast player against what's his name, Kier, that could be already a game changer. Similar to the goal that was scored on the first derby this year on the 3-2 for Milan. The first goal for Inter that Brozovic scored was similar construction. So that is going to be interesting. I'm super, of course, I respect him a lot as a football player, but it's every time you see
I
Milan,
remember
you see
speaking
red.
with you last year, and I think we were asking each other who would you take from each other's teams. I remember you said Lautaro.
I said Lautaro, and I said the other guy.
Which other guy?
I said,
Barella.
no. At the time, I said Dumfries.
That's because how bad the Calabria. Look at this is the level. This is the level of the right backs for
Yeah.
both teams. It was like I think if you ask Inter fans, we would take Calabria, and you guys would take Dumfries.
Nah, yeah, it's no. I changed a little bit my mind clearly because in the beginning against the derby, I saw him like he was strong physically. He was keep pushing. I was like, look at this guy,
Yeah,
never
no,
seen playing.
he's not playing as good as he was last year. He was never technically that good, but he had a good season last year, Dumfries. But this year he's kind of like, I don't know, he's kind of gone backwards. But what about this guy's hair? Speaking of hair, Mamma mia.
Oi, this guy here is exactly the same feeling that you have for Hakan. So this guy here, because you are a Milan fan, okay, you he, Theo is a player that put everything he got. Okay, so if you're a Milan fan, you love him because Theo Hernandez does the dirty job. That nowadays in football, it's hard to see somebody that push so hard and not only with his gameplay, but also mentally scream, he challenge people. That's what you want to see. Okay, I remember when was it Milan Lazio? The Milan just scored Lozano, the Mexican guy for Milan Napoli. Lozano
Yeah.
just he
That
went in
triggered me,
front of
even though it wasn't even against me. It triggered me.
yeah. So we love him, but I do understand it's not hard to understand why he's hated by everyone else, especially from Inter fan.
Everyone.
Yeah, so it's understandable.
Yeah. For me, there's a top three. There's a top three list of players I hate, where it's like is Quadrado was at the top of that. And I think after recently he's like maintained. I think he will remain number one until he retires, Quadrado. But I think Theo is just like last few years he's shot up that list. It used to be Bonucci up there, but Bonucci barely plays now. So and then Gianluca Mancini is kind of climbing that list quite quickly as well.
Mancini, I saw him, man, what the hell? I saw him playing against Milan. He was a butcher, really. That guy is butcher himself, and I think that for me, on the top of the list, it will always stay one player from Inter. I don't care about anybody else, honestly.
Materazzi.
Of course, this guy here, I don't care, man. I don't care about anybody else. Materazzi is like really on the top. I don't think I I don't think I have anybody else that I hates in a more sportive way, guys, than
Yeah.
Materazzi. He is like, man, it's like
Even now he's getting you triggered.
no, it's incredible. Like
Is there
I was
anyone you
with
dislike on the current Inter team?
no, I mean beside Hakan Calhanoglu.
Yeah, obviously besides Hakan, yeah.
Hakan Calhanoglu, no, I'll tell you tomorrow night. I'll tell you who I
Because I
dislike.
see on Twitter, I don't know if you're on Twitter, but on Twitter, a lot of Milan fans with Barella, because Barella sometimes falls, a bit dramatically.
See, yes, but it's different, man. I mean, it's very competitive, Barella. He use a lot of his hand gesture. Of course, tomorrow I'm gonna hate him with all my heart, but he's not. He will never be the same as a Materazzi because Barella at least he's good. Barella, he's good.
Mattia with the question of the stream: Hakan or Materazzi? Who do you have a drink with if you had to choose to have a drink with someone?
Oh, this is good. No, I know the answer. Hakan or Materazzi? Hakan or Materazzi? I think I will have a drink with Marco Materazzi.
Who do you hate more?
Well, man, allora, Materazzi is like, so Hakan Calhanoglu is like the ex-girlfriend that cheated on you,
Mm.
and it's like going on the other side and say, hey, look at my ring, ha, you still alone, like this. Meanwhile, Materazzi is just a bad influence, somebody that talks a lot, and it's just, and he's not, it was not that good. That's all I can
Hey,
say.
you
That's all I
gotta
can say.
respect what he did for Italy, though. You gotta respect the what he did for the World Cup.
World Cup for it, because of course the Inter fan think that Italy won the World Cup because of Marco Materazzi, right?
Well, he had a come on, he had a big part. You can't lie because Nesta got injured. Like he stepped in.
Yes, but there was other 10 players. There was Cannavaro, there was Ballon d'Or, there was incredible Buffon, there was Zambrotta that looks like prime Roberto Carlos on steroids, Gattuso, Pirlo. I mean, there was a lot of other players. Now, let me win the World Cup. Definitely, he did a little bit for sure, insulting Zidane. But you're not gonna convince me, Uncle Sharma. You're not taking me on the bet.
Well, we're convinced to have a drink with him already, so we already made some progress.
Okay, we'll have a shot. We'll have a shot. Beside, yeah, not him, but I can't Calhanoglu now.
Yeah. But let's move on to predicted lineups because I mean we've got like already talked a little bit about it, but let's see. So I've got the Gazzetta, who are not super reliable, but that's the only
Mm,
one I could find for Milan. So this
mm.
is the Gazzetta predicted lineup for tomorrow for Milan. I think it's quite accurate from what I've seen. I've seen
See.
similar ones. So you tell us, is this accurate? Is there any changes that you would
Yeah,
make?
no, it's exactly like this. What I can tell you from the Milan point of view is the defense. It is Kier didn't play the Campionato because in Champions League is doing really, really well. The defense can't say anything. Back four, Calabria with the help of Krunic that really step up in the last few matches. Rade Krunic is
Yeah.
a player that nobody was expecting anything from him, but he's doing very, very, very good. Sandro Tonali in the midfield and Benasser. Benasser, he was playing in that position right there when he was playing in Empoli. Okay,
Mm.
before coming to Milan, he was playing right there. And in the last few matches, he's been playing there against, I think, against Napoli, again
Lazio.
in the Tottenham. Yeah, I think they were playing there, and he is doing really well, especially his score against Napoli and his score against Lazio last Sunday. So I'm happy for him. Brahim Diaz, that's gonna be the key of the match.
Mhm.
I'll tell you right now, Brahim Diaz, if it sparkle, we can do something to the defense, to Inter's defense. If
Yeah.
instead the midfield of Inter, which is very physical, they're gonna cover him well, we might suffer that. We might suffer because we don't have the. I don't think, guys, we're gonna have Rafael.
No Rebic? Would you not have Rebic over Salami maker?
No, man, recently Rebic is like a shark without teeth. So he's like
Yeah.
a big boy, but it doesn't bite anymore like before, unfortunately. And Origi, this is Origi. It's the same function of Divock Origi. So it is
Why?
that's what
Why?
we receive from Liverpool, a printer, because it doesn't work.
Oh, faulty printer. Or you always have, your 35 million euro player, CDK.
The next
No,
Kaká,
no chance.
the next Kaká, you mean?
Yeah. The new Ricky Alvarez.
Yeah, man. What's gonna be the lineup for Inter? Do you have any news?
Yeah, so this is the
There you
predicted
go.
lineup for Inter. So Darmian, Acerbi, Bastoni at the back. So yeah, midfield looks like no Hakan. It looks like Hakan won't be starting. This is what
Mm.
it was going to be
Why you
between him
think
and
so?
Brozovic, and yeah, I think
Why you think? Yeah.
But Brozovic is coming back into form at the right time. So Brozovic, he had injuries this year. He was out of form after the World Cup, but recently, last 2 or 3 games, he's been like MVP Brozovic that we remember. And I think Mkhitaryan, I don't like Hakan as a mezzala. Like I've been, even
Mm.
though he had a good season for us last year, I don't like him as a. I don't see him like ball progression, like carrying the ball. Mkhitaryan has more. He's better at that. I think he's more suited to that role than Hakan. I prefer Hakan in the Brozovic role.
Okay.
And I think I would prefer Mkhitaryan as a substitute. In my opinion, I would start Hakan above Mkhitaryan because I think Mkhitaryan is a better substitute. I think he can have a better impact. You know how he did in the derby we lost against you. He came on. Him and Dzeko came on and had a good
Yeah.
impact. But
Mm-mm-mm.
the
What's
situation within this midfield is like we have 4 guys, and I'm not like concerned if any 3 combination could start, and I'm happy at the moment.
yeah.
It's like that.
What's the story with Inzaghi playing all the same lineups in the last 4 or 5 matches? He doesn't like turnover? He's
No, he
very
loves. He's been rotating a lot, but the thing is,
yeah.
he has like it's pre-programmed the turnover. It's like
Mm.
so last game, Correa, Lukaku started, so we know that this game,
Ah.
whether it's gonna be Cremonese, whether it's Milan, is gonna
Mm.
be Dzeko, Martinez. Like it's pre-programmed with Inzaghi. Then in the midfield, then yeah, there we have some surprises here and there. Like we're not sure, but
Okay.
yeah, we know he's actually done a lot better compared to last year. He's rotated a lot more. I'm happy that he did this. He's even integrating Belanova, another former Milan
Belanova.
player.
Mm.
He's been playing a little bit more recently, which is good. He deserves it. He adds a little bit more pace to this team. We lack a lot of pace in this team. And Gosens is
Mm.
out. So the only injury issues for Inter at the moment are Gosens, who just came back. He injured himself against Lazio, his shoulder. He might be back on the bench, but very unlikely that he will play.
But Gosens is what is it? Is a left back? What is it? What where he plays? Like in
Yeah,
the
left wing back instead of it would be him or Di Marco.
him or Di
Um,
Marco? Okay.
But DiMarco this year, he's been like our big match player. He's
Yeah.
got, he scored against you guys in the Super Coppa. He scored against Juve recently.
Yeah.
He's been stepping up a lot. So I'm happy. Regardless if Gosens was a fit, I think we would start DiMarco anyway. And then the other one is Skriniar. Skriniar is, yeah,
Paris, no? He's going to Paris.
yeah,
Notice.
he's at the Eiffel Tower chilling. Um, yeah,
I will
he's
never. I mean, he is going to one of the worst team. I mean, you see what is happening now with Messi and Neymar. The supporters they're going
yeah,
down to their play. Man, that's crazy, 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 crazy.
yeah.
Anyway,
Up front, yeah, as I said, Dzeko, Martinez, Lautaro, obviously 100%. Whoever, it doesn't matter who else plays, Lautaro has to play. But I would play, personally, I think most Inter fans would play Lukaku. Lukaku has been coming back into form. I think he's got 3 goals, 3 assists in the last
uh,
few games. But, as we said with Inzaghi, it is what it is. He makes these decisions like pre-decides these things clearly.
yeah.
But at least, Lukaku as a substitute also can make a good impact. He was also a bit of a Milan killer when he was here with Conte. Lukaku, he used
Oh
to be
yeah,
doing very well against you guys.
yeah. The thing is, you see, I mean, for Inter, you guys have so many options. Okay, this is why I think Inter itself is one of the budget-wise is one with most paid teams in Serie A.
Yeah, we are
But
second
also
after Juventus.
after Juve, yeah. And but you have so many options also on the bench. Meanwhile, our second lines, this is the problem that happened this year, especially when we were weak in January, February, and the last few matches. That maybe we're winning against Lazio, we are not winning against Cremonese or Empoli because the
Mhm.
second line they are really not that inspired, not at the same level. So the first line of Milan, it can do really, really, really well. The second line of Milan, it cannot do anything else. This is why there is a big discussion in the Milan side why it's like this. Partly, I truly believe is because last year we changed property and we also got the new. I mean, the Maldini and Massara, which is the sport director, they renewed their contract literally on the last day of their contract after winning a Scudetto, which is incredible because after winning a Scudetto with that team, with Salemaker, Messia, and we know who else, you should
Yeah.
literally just take my pen, write it down, the number, whatever you like, and you won it. Okay. And that's why they didn't have enough time to buy to buy the player that they wanted to play. For example, I'm sure you as an Inter fan as well, you know there was a Dybala on the market. Why nobody? Why Roma?
Yeah.
Why? Like we just win the Scudetto, sell us some T-shirts. Let get me Dybala. We need somebody on the right side. No, waiting, waiting, waiting. Now we got the blonde caca.
Yeah, I mean, people are asking who's worse, Correa or CDK. I think at the moment, I mean, Correa last season, at least he scored like 6 goals, few match winners. Like, there's no competition in terms of. But the, but the thing is, at least CDK is like what, 21, 22. At least he's got
Yeah,
like resale value. No one wants to buy Correa, so it's like it's.
yeah. I got you. I got you. I got you. Look, I have a question. I will have a
Mm.
question. Can I ask you, and then I'll tell you what I think about on the other side. I want to ask you a specific question. What do you think about Pioli?
I think he's a magician. I don't know. I
Mm,
don't know how he won the Scudetto last year. Still, that's why I call it purely voodoo. I don't know how he did it, how he got the team together, how even with all those injuries you guys had somehow. Wow, I don't know how he did it. And there this year, okay, in the league you're not doing very good. I think that's probably I think you overachieved last year, but in the
mm.
Champions League, you're doing well again. So I think he's punching above like his weight. Only
Yeah, yeah.
respect from me.
Yeah, yeah, no, I got the same feeling like when I was talking to other Inter fan, everyone was like, guys, but there are people that they say Pioli out when he doesn't win against Empoli, against this, against that. But the things that he did last year is incredible. This is why sometimes, man, on my community, sometimes people comes out with it doesn't win against Empoli, Pioli here, Pioli there, Pioli. It feels like they have. I'm sure the same things with Inzaghi on your side. Like I think it's Inzaghi itself from my point of view. He's very young players. He's very young coach, so he still have to have an experience of these big matches like semi-final, final. But so far, what can we say? I think he has a plan, man. He has a plan. He has a project, and I don't see any reason why you shouldn't renew next year Inzaghi. If I mean, let's say if you arrive into top four, reaching the final of Coppa Italia, semi-final Champions League, what else do you want to do? I mean, I don't
Mm.
know, man. It's
I don't
what's
know,
the
man.
com
But losing, if you losing this game, bro, like but he has to get top four minimum.
mm,
But if you lose this game, this is like almost like as bad as losing the final. Like if you lose this
yeah,
game, do you know what I mean? Like everything
see,
else gets cancelled if you lose against Milan in the semi-final Champions League.
mm.
It's like all the credit goes away.
But and do you think who do you think is good? Because you cannot buy Jurgen Klopp, which is cost 16 million a year. You
It
need
That's the thing, isn't it? The same thing you guys, the problem you guys have is like, yeah, it's who. I mean, I
who?
have my names. Like I like the Porto manager Conceição,
Mm,
but it's like you're gonna have to pay him money and pay Porto probably to make him convince, and like he plays a different formation. Like yeah, no, there isn't a name out there that is realistic, or
yeah.
Inter fans would say Thiago Motta, but again, this guy is also another inexperienced manager. It's like unconvincing other options.
Yep. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, we're coming up to an hour. I can see people are starting to drop. I think they're starting to watch the Champions League game, which I don't blame them. Big
Yeah.
Champions League game going on. So let's finish with some predictions. If you are brave enough, my brother Fabrizio, you go first. I'm
Look,
putting you in a prime time.
I prime time, ladies and gentlemen. Believe in this young AC Milan, 7 times European champions, 19 times Italian champions. Unfortunately for you, I can't do any prediction because I'm Italian and I'm very superstitious. So there
Oh,
is no way
boring.
the Uncle Sharma
Ooh.
is gonna get me to do a prediction before a semi-final of Champions League. No way. Sorry, man. I
I
can't.
tried. I tried. I even put him in prime time. I put-
Amazing, man.
okay,
I mean,
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll have the ball. I got the cojones.
the cojones, tell
I've
us.
got it. I've got
3-0 for Inter.
no, no. Calma,
Look
calma.
at the gufo. I say Victor with the owl. Yes,
The gufata.
the gufatas.
So I think it's gonna be two different games. I think the first one tomorrow is gonna be more tight. I think it's gonna be more closed, like
Mm.
both teams studying each other. I think this Benacer versus Brozovic, if he's gonna be man marking him, I think that's gonna be a big factor. I want to see because you guys used to do that. I remember Kessie a lot of times used to put Kessie to man mark Brozovic, but it didn't used to work much.
No.
So let's see how how Isma does it.
Mm.
That could be, I think, a big changing point depending on how
Okay.
that experiment goes. So I'm gonna go 1-1 tomorrow. I
Okay.
think 1-1 tomorrow, and then Inter take it in the home leg, second leg, sneak through 2-1 victory at home. So 3-2 on aggregate, and we take revenge for 20 years ago when you guys fucked us for 2 draws and the other one that I don't want to talk about. That's my prediction.
Well.
And yeah, I made a poll in the chat earlier to ask
Mm-hmm.
people. I'm sure very unbiased poll. Obviously, my community is very unbiased. So 77% said Inter will reach the final, and 22% said Milan. 109 votes. So
Yeah.
I hope they're right. I hope they're right.
I hope they're wrong.
Or give
I
me
mean,
some. Okay, give me some goal scorers for tomorrow. Who's gonna score at least, or is it gonna be like a 0-0?
it's Leao.
He's Leao is playing then. Okay, yeah. Give me that. Is Leao starting tomorrow? Give me that prediction.
No,
Okay.
Rafa, no. Rafa doesn't play tomorrow, guys.
Okay.
Rafa, with tomorrow, I think we're gonna know it early in the morning. I don't think Rafa is gonna be playing, and I think before when you say that, I hope that it's gonna be a good spot for Italian football. I would like to agree, but I don't. Tomorrow is gonna be super nervous because none of these guys they ever played a semi-final.
Mm, mm.
None of. I think I don't think anybody on both sides. Probably Origi, but I don't know in Inter.
As a
Maybe
substitute.
nobody plays
Giroud
semi-final.
played, World Cups.
Yeah,
Lautaro
yeah,
played
yeah,
World
yeah.
Cup
Other
now.
than that,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to go 5 times in the toilet before going in the pitch because they're gonna be S dot 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 themselves because it's gonna be scary. 80,000 people in San Siro. There's gonna be an incredible choreography. It's gonna
Oh
be the
yeah.
scream of the
Yeah, I'm looking forward
champions.
to the choreography. Both sides is gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic, and unless something like you said before, like some Dumfries Theo happen, otherwise I'm afraid it's gonna be a very tight game. Few
Yeah.
corner, maybe a crossbar or so, but I don't expecting a big result tomorrow. We will see, man. We will see.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's gonna be like that tomorrow. And then the second one, I think things will open up a little bit more. But
It's gonna
yeah,
be
that
very
was really
tactical.
enjoyable, Fabrizio, man. That was a nice 1 hour, 3 minute chat with you. Make sure to check him out. Give us a few closing thoughts and yeah, plug your channel. Go, bro.
Absolutely. Guys, first of all, I want to say thank you so much to Uncle Sharma and his chat because I was reading the chat. You have a very nice chat, very polite, I have to say. Not everyone, but mainly good comments, man. So really appreciated also the nice comments. Herbert Kipling, Inter is already in Istanbul. Congratulations. This guy is It's giving you the big gufata of the day.
Yeah.
Good man. And no, I'm expecting a good match. I'm expecting to see you maybe in a week time. Maybe we'll see how we go. Maybe we can do another live to see what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
And thank you so much for you. Thank you so much for the chat. Ranger, Victor, Herbert, Wizu, Mattia, your moderator, amazing job, man. And thank you so much. That's all I can say.
Thank you guys. Make sure you check out Fabrizio's channel. It's in the link down below. And yeah, we'll see you for post-match reaction. I don't know how it's gonna go, but hopefully I'll be smiling and hopefully Fabrizio will be crying. Let's see how it goes. Ciao ragazzi. Always Forza
Ciao
Inter.
ragazzi, Forza Milan!
No, no, no.